The built-in audio of the Quest 3 is pretty freaking good, but it does leak audio like nobody's business and doesn't fully immerse you in the virtual world. So today I'll be reviewing the new RAZER Hammerhead Earbuds, a made-for-meta accessory with a lot of tricks up its sleeve that promises to enhance your audio experience on not only Quest 2 and Quest 3, but also PC, Mac, and even PlayStation. Let's dive into it. Quick disclaimer, Razer and Meta did send me these, but as always, all opinions are my own. Starting with a quick unboxing and the specs, these tiny but mighty Razer earbuds come with Bluetooth 5.2, as well as an ultra-low latency 2.4 GHz connection via the included USB-C dongle. This means they can be connected to pretty much any device that has Bluetooth, as well as being a great gaming companion for PC, consoles, and of course, VR headsets. They're also capable of active noise cancelling, which we'll be testing out a bit later, and come with a total battery life of 30 hours. This includes the time you get by charging them in the included case. The maximum time you'll get on one single charge is up to 6.5 hours with the lighting and noise cancelling off, and around 4 hours with both of these on, or 4.5 hours with just noise cancelling on. For my audio nerds out there, these support a respectable frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz at an impedance of 16 ohms. We'll get to how they sound in a second, but I want to briefly touch on comfort. The official specs state that these weigh 53 grams including the case, and I've gotta say they do feel extremely light and comfy, and I don't even feel them when they're in. They also come with 3 different ear tip sizes to accommodate for how large your hole is.
What did he say?
Well, ear hole that is. Moving on to the most important aspect of the RAZER Hammerhead for Meta Quest, sound quality. But first, I've built VRdeals.io for you. It's the only website that helps VR lovers find deals and discounts on hardware and accessories by monitoring prices from Amazon and other retailers to ensure you never miss out on a good deal again. Check it out at the link below, and let's get back to the sound quality of the Razers. I started my testing by connecting them to my iPhone and listening to some of my favorite songs on Spotify. They sounded fairly decent, and by using the Razer Audio app I was able to really tweak them to my liking. The bass is punchy, highs and mids are clean, and overall they're definitely above average. Now, are they audiophile quality? Of course not, but they do the job. Now, one thing to note is that the Bluetooth and wireless connections are not simultaneous, meaning that you'll have to switch between them. Secondly, before I move on to the performance via the wireless low latency dongle connection, is that any changes you'll want to make to either lighting, EQ, or shortcuts will have to be done through the phone app while connected via Bluetooth, and these will save directly to the earbuds and carry over when you switch to the dongle. So next, I connected these directly to the USB-C port on my Quest 3. Unfortunately, there is no pass-through charging port, so it means that you won't be able to use these together with a battery head strap while playing Quest native games. I started with a few songs in Beat Saber, and the sound quality seemed even better than when connected via Bluetooth, with more separation and detail, likely due to the higher bandwidth of the 2.4 GHz connection. Again, the bass was punchy yet clean, and the song sounded great with absolutely no perceivable latency at all. Next up, I wanted to test out the spatial audio capabilities to see how well they reproduce surround sound, distance, and direction, so I jumped into a few rounds of contractors. And I've gotta say, these are awesome for playing shooters. And I could clearly tell exactly where the enemy footsteps or gunfire were coming from. And this is without even setting them to the FPS EQ mode via the app. So this definitely made me curious to see if that EQ preset actually makes it even better. And for competitive gaming, it absolutely does make the footsteps even clearer and more precise. Now, for me personally, I'm not a competitive player, so I prefer the fuller, more immersive sound of the default preset over this FPS one. But if you do decide to get these, then feel free to test out both and see which one you like more. So I had tried a rhythm game, a competitive FPS title, and now it was time for a story-based open world game. And I actually ended up testing out a few different ones to see how these perform. I started off with Assassin's Creed Nexus, and again, as stated in the beginning of the video, the Quest 3's integrated audio is no slouch. But these really brought the cities to life and immersed me more than ever in the Assassin's Creed universe. It felt like I had gained a totally new grasp of my surroundings, and this is where I was starting to really think Razer and Meta have really made a banger product. With my expectations set pretty high, I jumped into probably the best, most expansive game available on the Quest platform, Asgard's Wrath 2. You can probably tell by now that yeah, I'm definitely a fanboy and think Sanzaru have absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. but I didn't quite fully realize what an exquisite job they've done with the audio design until I played it using these earbuds. The already great atmosphere of the game, the top-notch voice acting, and even the sound of my blade parrying an enemy attack were so satisfying that I actually ended up playing for about 2 hours until my quest died, when my intention was just to jump in for 30-40 minutes. Finally, before moving on to trying these out on PC, I wanted to have a go at probably my favorite VR game of all time, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Even on the Quest 2 speakers, the atmosphere of this game is fantastic and it's considerably enhanced with the upgraded audio of the Quest 3. But holy zombie brains, these level it up even more. I ended up preferring the bass boost mode in this game, as it just made the juiciness of stabbing a zombo in the ear just delicious. And yes, I know it's a weird thing to say, but you'll get it perfectly if you end up trying these yourself. Remember when I said on standalone you can't use these earbuds with a battery strap? Well, on PC you don't have to worry about that because you can simply plug them directly into your PC, meaning the USB-C port on the Quest can be used for either playing wired with a link cable or plug in the battery head strap and play via Airlink like I did. Anyway, since these can be used for non-VR gaming as well, I decided to try them out in Cyberpunk 2077, and to set expectations, I generally play it on my Sennheiser HD6XX wired headphones, so I know all too well what Night City is supposed to sound like on proper audio gear. Now, I'm not gonna be absurd and say these sounded even close to my daily cans, but I've gotta say that for tiny wireless earbuds, the sound they produce is really damn crisp and punchy. I would absolutely not be complaining if I was forced to play with these and would enjoy the game just as much. Finally, it was time for the ultimate audio test, a game that I used to play a lot, Overwatch. The audio design here is a core part of the game and done extremely well. Now, I haven't played this in a long time, so long that it's actually now Overwatch 2 that I'm trying out, so don't roast me too hard in the comments for how much I suck at it. The soundstage is definitely not as wide as my open back headphones, but that would physically be hard to achieve. That being said, I was able to easily hear enemy footsteps and the audio cues were definitely present, clear and precise, unlike my aiming skills. I'll end the embarrassment of me sucking at this game now, so let's move on to talking a bit about the controls on these earbuds. The part where the Razer logo is on both sides is actually a touch-sensitive panel, and you can actually customize what tapping and holding on either earbud does by using the phone app. You can have separate shortcuts for the left and right one, so it's super easy to map things like play, pause, next, previous, volume up or down, as well as noise cancelling modes. And speaking of the ANC, this is one of the drawbacks, because I could barely tell a difference between having the noise cancelling on or off. I mean, yeah, it does drown out a tiny bit of the surroundings when it's on, but honestly, with in-ear headphones, you already have a ton of passive noise cancellation, so I don't really see much of a point to ANC. I didn't get a chance to try them on an airplane, but I did try them with my vacuum on, and again, it didn't really do that much. They also have a transparency mode, or ambient sound as they call it, and I'm not sure if mine have something wrong with them or what, but it didn't really seem to work. Normally this would activate the microphones to let sound in from the outside, but the volume of the ambient mode is incredibly low, so it's barely audible. And in case you were wondering, the microphone on the RAZER Hammerhead HyperSpeed cannot be used while the dongle is plugged into the Quest 2 or Quest 3, but it does work on PC via the dongle and when connected via Bluetooth. It's totally underwhelming, tinny, and honestly just pretty bad overall, and as you can tell from the sudden change in audio quality, I'm recording this sentence using this microphone. And since I don't want to sentence your ears to audio hell, let's continue with my actual microphone, cause yeah, the microphone on these is terrible. Alright. Sorry for the very bad Matthew McConaughey impression, but let's talk price and if these are actually worth it. They retail for $149 in the US, and I think it's a decent price point for a pair of good sounding earbuds that not only work with Quest 2 and Quest 3, but also your phone, PC, Mac, consoles, and portables. If they did just work on Quest, then I would have thought twice about recommending them, but the multi-platform support really makes them a decent buy. I would not necessarily consider them an absolute must for Quest owners, but they do enhance the immersion and audio experience by quite a bit and prevent sound from leaking to the others around you. The ANC and microphone are definitely subpar, but if sound quality is what matters most to you, then I think you'll be really happy with these. Check them out at the link in the description and let me know in the comments what you think of them and if you have any questions that I can help answer. Until next time, have a banger day and I'll see you soon. Cheers, guys!